What up, y'all? Before I get started, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and subscribe to my boy Millaboy Gaming for giving me a live stream. And in this episode of Lethal Weapon, season 3, episode 13, Coyote Ugly, we learn a lot about Cole's past, a lot more. We actually learn a lot about how his mother passed away, and just learn about how strained the relationship was towards the very end of her life. Unfortunately, she died in Bosnia, I believe in 2002. And we got a couple flashbacks, three flashbacks to be exact, because the first one was in 1992. They were in El Salvador, and they were just talking. They had a really good relationship. Then we fast forward about 6 years to '98, where they're in Tanzania, and that's when Cole and his mother argue about, where he wants to go for school. Cole chose West Point. His mother didn't want him to because she knew what kind of experiences he would be going through. Cole said, "Look, Mom, I can't be like you. I don't want to be like you." He's like, "Well, that's not what I want you to do. I want you to have a good life where you're safe and you're secure." And now, because Cole only saw his mother as just taking photographs in the most hostile environments, and his mother checked him on that. And I believe that his mother was actually a war journalist. I believe from the looks of it, because this whole project, the whole point of Cole's mother being brought up was because his daughter, she wanted to know more about her family. And Cole was very reluctant, only because, as we'll learn later on in the episode, that he just wasn't sure to tell what to tell his daughter Maya, because he didn't know he did not think or know what she would think of him or his family or her family entirely. So it wasn't only until like the very end of the episode where she learns to accept for family for what they are, and she even asked her father, like, "Hey, Dad, can I get a camera?" He said, "Yeah, I might have one laying around." Because now I feel like that's actually going to transcend and pass on the legacy of that Cole's mother had. And he actually ends up hiding out in one of his mother's safe house up in the Mojave Desert. And this episode was pretty much just about a former journalist, I guess, in Mexico, who had information about the very people in terms of like a border crisis. And he had like a hard drive of all this information that he gave to his daughter. And that was just the whole point of it. And then Bailey having to deal with the fact that Roger had babied her a lot, but that's how Roger talks to, people that he loves and cares about, because he considers Bailey a part of the family. Speaking of family, we learned that Trish was actually married before to an Olympic athlete, and no one knew about that. But then I feel like this episode was pretty dope, only because after Cole getting shot in the Mojave Desert, reliving the past about his mother, and him regretting the fact that he said what he said about his mother, because his mother died in Bosnia in 2002. Possibly just trying to photograph some information during a hostile environment and so forth. And I don't think he ever really grieved his mother's death until having to just sit down with his daughter Maya and just talk about her. So I look forward to seeing what happens next week, because there's only two more episodes left of this season. And this has been your boy Sirius, man. Peace and love.